Hello, this is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. So happy to be joined today by Kat Taub, who is Product Marketing Manager, Networked Video with Audinate. Topic of conversation is, of course, AV over IP, aligning with our AV over IP deep dive, which will be in our March issue of CI plus SSI, as well as all over commercialintegrator.com throughout the month of March. We'll be talking about all the latest trends in AV over IP and why it's such a hot topic and why we really think it's going to be perhaps the future of signal transport, if it isn't the present of signal transport for AV. Thank you so much, Kat, for being here. Always a pleasure to chat with you. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
So when people think about Audinate, they think about Dante, they immediately think about your industry leadership. I mean, it's pretty natural we'd have you on to talk about AV over IP. So do you want to talk just in general, before we delve into Dante, why this is such a profoundly important category? Why everyone seems to be talking about AV over IP these days? Is there something kind of in the air that this is going to become predominant if it isn't predominant already?
I think to some extent, it's definitely pretty predominant already with commercial install. Even, live is kind of where we started with Dante Audio. Just an ease of setup and ease of just running it on that network that you already have in place, not having to run extra cables or proprietary sort of, cabling and devices and all that kind of stuff. So definitely expanding rapidly. And I think as like our networks have more bandwidth, like we've seen over the last 10 years or so, the price of like network switches has just completely declined. We're seeing more and more audio and now video on the network as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And we had a great conversation during ISC in Barcelona. And, if ever anyone had a doubt about Audinate being just as big a player in video as it is in audio, it is impossible to deny now. You have so many video partners. Do you want to talk a little bit about the rise of Dante AV specifically and all the video partners you were sharing with me at the show?
Oh, absolutely. So basically, we've have pretty much dominance in networked audio, I would say. But we have a lot of customers that are like, hey, I wish there was a video product that just worked like Dante, right? Like I can use Dante controller, make my routes. It's interoperable between manufacturers. It's plug and play. I don't need to know a ton of networking to do networked AV. So that's kind of where we were like, okay, we can look into this, start going with it. So it's been, quite a few years for us, but this year I feel like is really the first year of Dante AV really taking off. We hit our 50 partners, licensees with Dante AV Milestone right before ISE, which was really exciting. I was happy to put that one out there into the world. And we had some really exciting new partners join. We had Kramer, who is huge in the education space, making some product. AMX has announced quite a few different Dante AV flavored products. And then sort of in the more like production space, we have AJA on board and yeah, just great partners out there.
So as I said, we had a great conversation at ISC in Barcelona. It's really exciting to see the continued evolution of Audinate, the continued evolution of Dante, especially seeing your video ecosystem blossom the way that it is. People who are interested in learning more about Dante, Dante AV, what's the best way they can do that? I mean, I assume the website, there might also be training or education or other ways they can really expand their knowledge of what you're doing, because it's exciting stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So our website has a plethora of knowledge, as well as you can see all of the products that manufacturers are making. We're soon to add all the ones from ISE. Not quite there yet, but that website is getdante.com. And then, of course, we have the Audinate training and the Dante training. We have the certification level 1, 2, 3, which is just going to get you completely mastered on how to use Dante, how to run your network, how to kind of all the tips and tricks to kind of getting up and running, as well as we have a Dante AV elective for people looking to learn a little bit more about our video solution.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Kat. It's really a pleasure always to catch up with you. And certainly at trade shows, we've started to see Dante spoken here being ubiquitous. I think we're going to now start to see Dante seen here because you are very much just as much in the video game as the audio game. Thank you for educating me. Thank you for educating our audience and being part of our deep dive report.
Great. Thanks.
Again, such a pleasure to catch up with my friend Kat Taub, who is Product Marketing Manager, Networked Video with Audinate. My name is Dan Farisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. Please do check out the AV over IP deep dive in the March issue of CI plus SSI, as well as all over commercialintegrator.com throughout the month of March. We'll have lots of thought leader content, including with people like Kat, opining on the issues of the day and why this is really the talk of the town when it comes to AV signal transport. Thank you again so much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.